weird fucking guys. You're doing a manly thing, and you're a fucking dork.
I got my lightsaber wearing my Pokemon hat today. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
Wow, you're a real Renaissance man, you know that?
Goddamn man-child.
What a fucking dork.
Yeah. But he's our dork.
This is not for children.
All right, here we are.
Hey there, John.
What's up, Chris?
We got a guest here.
We got my good friend Chuck here today.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
I think he's a hockey guy.
Yeah, I think so too.
A little bit.
You watch Letterkenny and Shoresy?
I have, yeah.
Have you? He talks about it all the time. I never watched it.
I fucking love. So I will admit, and you might want to reach over and punch me in the face when I say this, and it totally goes against everything we're about to discuss today. But nevertheless, I'm not really like a sports guy. Not that I have anything against sports or organized sports. I just never got into it.
Yeah.
I was a skateboarder, and I did like boxing, but boxing, again, is one of them solo sports, you know? But, so Shoresy is good, but I don't always, like, know the jokes. Like, I don't know what they're talking about sometimes.
Some of the hockey
So,
stuff, yeah.
I'm more of a Letterkenny kind of guy. Anybody out there listening? I like hillbillies with brains, you know? That's really how I see that show. But anyway, we got Chuck here. Chuck and John, you guys are pals?
Yeah, we've been knowing each other for a while.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so basically what we're going to dive into is basically Chuck took something from nothing and turned it into something pretty extraordinary. This dilapidated hockey rink in Woodland that he just kind of took it from what it was, which was nothing, and then turned it into like a landmark over there and kind of expanded into something pretty cool. I'd say it's kind of like, I mean, to a certain extent, it's a large part of your identity now, right?
It has become that way.
Yeah,
Yep,
so it
definitely.
seems like to me.
So I really feel like, because the audience doesn't know anything what you just briefly talked about,
Yeah.
let me dive into this.
Yeah.
So apparently the story goes, me and Chuck, we grew up in Eddystone together, but he's a little older than me, so we ran in different circles. Up the street from where we live was like this abandoned roller hockey rink, right?
Right.
And I mean, as a kid, I remember like skateboarding, and we tried to put ramps in there because it was already, the pavement was kind of fucked. There was big cracks and shit in it. Nobody was really playing hockey in there. There was kids that were doing graffiti on the fucking boards on the sides. It was kind of a shithole. It's right alongside of what road is that?
Bullens Lane.
Bullens Lane. I assume it's part of Widener. Is that the land?
No, that's the funny thing. It's actually all township's land.
Really?
But Widener actually has their own softball field down there on Ridley Township land.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
So as a kid, like as a teenager, and even in my 20s, I remember going back there and just seeing that it was kind of dilapidated. Nobody gave a fuck. Which brings us to, how long ago did you start this project?
I mean,
Good 10, 13 years almost,
yeah,
right?
I mean, I started at it maybe 2013.
So
it was even more, 10 years, I guess.
So obviously, as a hockey enthusiast, you decided, fuck this, I'm going to go down there. And did you just start DIY, like fixing it on your own?
So I guess the way it started is we do remember the rink when we were younger.
Yeah.
Like being there, and we would mess around and play there. And then it just kind of fell off our radar, right? And we wouldn't go there. So then we decided as we were older and we got back into wanting to play, and we're like, oh, we know a place, let's not play in the street, let's go find some rink local. We went back there, and boy, was that a disaster when we showed up.
Fucking weeds were 3 feet tall.
Oh, there's massive cracks in there. I mean, there was even a couch sitting in the middle, which is hilarious, But yeah, just how messed up it was really sad to see.
Yeah.
And I do feel like what happened was, they built it.
And then nobody gave a shit.
There wasn't enough, interest in it,
Right.
I guess, and it just kind of went.
So like it just like took like one guy who was like, I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
And like he just like, did you even have permission to do some of the stuff in the beginning?
Absolutely
So,
not.
yeah. So like when you were painting it, like I had lent him my projector. Like I had a projector. So he painted all 30 teams' logos on
Yeah.
the boards. Like what'd you do? Like you primered the boards.
Yep.
And then he put all the team's logos up on it. And like I remember going down there and being like, man, this looks amazing. Like just like a fresh coat of paint. Just made such a difference, but like still all the structural things were wrong, like the pavement and the asphalt or whatever it was, and then like I remember you having like barbecues down there, like you would have like a barbecue, like a fundraising barbecue, and you'd come there and here's I got $20 to throw you or whatever.
So what's fascinating is that you and I know a mutual friend, this guy Steve that I grew up with, and he posted recently him and some other guys that I know playing down there, which I guess I assume you were there with them guys.
Yep,
and
we have an adult league down there now on Sunday morning, so
very
that's how
cool.
it started,
yeah. So yesterday morning you were down there raising hell, whacking each other in the shins with fucking hockey
But
sticks.
the origins of it was just like pickup games, pretty much, right?
It was
just
pickup
like,
games, and we would clean up what we could. We even wound up building this like fake wall in the middle of the rink, knowing we couldn't use the one end because it was a disaster.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, we're talking about tall weeds. I mean, there was like a tree, like growing out of there.
Yeah,
it's wild.
yeah.
I mean, if you look at it now, like you can go on Facebook and look it up and see like what he's done to it. As far as you've put in like penalty boxes.
We have everything.
There's like penalty boxes.
Benches,
there's benches that are made out of the hockey sticks. You still have them down there?
Well, they're there, but we
there?
had to take them out because they're just worn. But we have regular benches now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we still have them.
It's
People
been a while
use them.
since I've been down there.
Yeah.
But like I just see pictures of it on the internet and stuff. And I'm like, man, this is amazing. Like, just like it's that thing, like that pursuit interest thing, where it's like I took something that I was interested in and I molded it into something great. Like it's just extraordinary what he's done to this thing.
So I guess what really got us, like the interest, or like saw Ridley, it got back to Ridley because of what we were doing.
Yeah.
Because we were like cleaning it up, and like it made its way through people to Ridley Township. They're like, there's this guy, there's some people that are interested. They're like doing things. So they started asking me questions. They got a hold of me and started asking me questions.
Nice.
Like, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? Blah, blah, blah.
Well, tell them you're making a meth lab down there.
Yeah, right. I was like, I was like, I just enjoy hockey.
Yeah.
And there's nothing super close to here, to like play at, so.
So, and I apologize. I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry. So it's more than just the rink itself, though, right? Did you help start the youth league down there?
Yes.
And is that because of your children, or?
So, part of the township getting involved, they wanted to see what kind of how far I wanted to go with it, right? So they're like, if we put money into it, and help you jumpstart something, would you want to run a league down there? And I was like, at the time, I was like, oh boy, I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I'll try to figure something out, and so it just. They started doing some work down there, knowing, like, I gave them the idea that I would be interested. So at the same time as them doing work, I started going down the path of how do I start a business, right?
Yeah.
So we are a nonprofit. So I went through that process,
Very cool.
We have board members and all that. So we had to do that.
So let me pause you right there. What is the name of the nonprofit in case any of the viewers or listeners would like to donate or participate in some kind of way? What do you have?
So it's the same as the league. It's Ridley Hockey League.
Okay.
Yeah, so Ridley Hockey League. If you Google it, Facebook it, whatever, we're all over the place now.
Yeah.
It's definitely built, since the start.
How many members do you have? Do you mind me asking?
I mean, so it fluctuates kids wise, but I mean we have about 125 kids involved now. But I mean the people that come and watch, I mean you're looking at hundreds of people come and watch too.
Really?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, this is turning into something, huh?
Absolutely.
Pretty awesome.
They're gonna have to get some ice for you, man.
Yeah, right.
I mean, but it's cool because it's like I talk to people, like I have friends, like one of my friends actually, I think she coaches one of the teams or whatever, and like it's like kids that wouldn't normally even pursue playing hockey sometimes.
Yeah.
They get interested in it and they get excited for it and they end up in the league or whatever. And it's just like even the pickup games, like it was everybody from every skill level that would just be playing. So it's kind of like the same kind of scenario, right? It's just more organized now.
Yeah, so the idea is getting kids in that maybe have never even played the sport before.
Or maybe they're intimidated to play like organized hockey, or maybe they just can't afford to play organized hockey.
So are you doing foot or roller or
deck hockey?
It is foot, so it's deck hockey.
Yeah.
Okay.
the overall arching name is ball hockey, but yes, it's on foot.
Gotcha.
Chris plays ball hockey all day long.
Well, I play with balls, but it's different.
Yeah,
you
a
know,
little different.
Yeah, there's sticks involved and there's balls, but it's, and sometimes I make money. My fans only.
Fans only. He calls only fans. Fans only.
Fans only.
Yeah.
Well, so let's go into the timeline of like, all right, so you went down there, you started painting the boards, you got that couch out of the middle of it. What eventually I assume that you had to start trying to gather up some donation money to like redo the pavement, or.
So we wound up. What are we looking at? Within the first 2 years of us cleaning stuff up, we ran an actual fundraiser.
Okay.
Where we got people together, and it's funny because
that wasn't the barbecues, right?
No,
those were just barbecues.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
We had an actual fundraiser where we had a building and all this stuff.
Oh, nice.
And we brought in maybe $2,500, and that was like pretty big deal for something that we weren't even an organized business yet.
Yeah.
Right? It's at first, like I was like, how do I collect money on behalf? Like it's not supposed to go to me. Like how does it go to an organization? So you want to give people the okay that it's going to go to the right place. And I mean.
Well, because nowadays, and dude, I keep interrupting you. I'm so sorry, man. Well, I think nowadays, it's funny because my wife and I talk about, we started researching. We watch a lot of documentaries, and we're watching like all these nonprofit organizations that keep a very large portion of the money. So I think the general population is starting to realize like, oh shit, like a lot of nonprofits out there are very much turning a profit.
Right.
And so, my wife went and did this earlier before the episode started. We were talking about what my wife does for a business. She's a dog groomer. Mm-hmm. So she volunteered to go to this retreat for golden retrievers. And she was like, yeah, well, I'm donating my time and my work. I'm giving 100% of what I charge, 100%. Nothing is staying with me to these nonprofit organizations. And then I guess there was some kind of dispute. Somebody like accused her or said something like, oh, well, how much are you keeping? And she's like, nothing, and like, it's just like this whole, it's bullshit, but then there's occasionally good people that are doing the right thing, which is what it's supposed to be. Sure. You have children. You said before the episode that you have kids. I assume that, this is you leaving the legacy to them. I want you to learn hockey. I grew up skateboarding. Yeah. Dude, if they build a skate park down there, you let me know where to send my checks to, and I'll send some money. There you go. Because I don't want them skateboarding on your stuff. It's separate. It's different, Yeah. And, but I think it's for the kids. Yes. I'm a dad. You're a dad. He's a dad. We do this because we want our kids to have good things in their life,
Sure. Yeah, about where the money's going. I mean, literally 100% of the money goes right to the organization, and you'll see. You can just by coming down there, you'll see where it's going, and that's the easiest way to show. You'll see every dime going right back to the organization and upkeeping the rink and building it up better and better.
It's beautiful, man. That's awesome. When I saw the pictures, I honestly was blown away.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Steve posted them pictures, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know. So then I think I mentioned it to John, and John was like, "I know the guy that did it," and I was like, "What do you mean?" I thought.
I mean, I wasn't intimately involved other than lending on the projector. I mean, I think I went down there and helped you paint one day.
Right.
What the fuck, John? Why didn't you help him?
I mean, it was his
Leave
thing
me out
or
to dry over here.
Yeah, but I mean, when I came back, it was like one day you'd be there, it'd be like 3 logos up, and then the next day you'd go and it'd be like 10 more, and we're like, man, they look spot on. Like it just was so cool. Like,
And the funny thing is, I'm not an artist at all. You know what
no,
I mean?
But it's as easy as tracing the logo and just knowing what colors to do and stuff.
So meanwhile, what you're saying is the artist came down there and was like, "Here you go.
Here you go. Here's the projector."
Wait, work is involved? Fuck this. I'm out of here.
That's funny.
I'm not getting paid for this.
Yeah.
Nah.
I thought this was a partially for-profit organization.
We went down there. We helped them paint up a few of the boards. My kids skated around the rink or whatever. My daughter was little at the time. I mean, like just like 10 years ago or whatever. She was probably like 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah.
Nice.
And like our kids go to school together now. They're friends and stuff. It's pretty funny. I felt like such a dick one time, dude. I gotta apologize to you right now. I saw you at Tom and Jerry's one day, and your daughter was singing.
Yes.
And I was inside, And I had like tunnel vision. All I wanted was a roast beef sandwich.
Yeah.
Like I'm in there, and I got like a beer, and I'm waiting for my roast beef, and I see Chuck, and Chuck comes over, and he tells me, he's like, "Hey, my daughter's about to sing outside or whatever." I'm like, "Oh, cool," not realizing like, dickhead, you should get up and go out there and watch your kids' friends sing.
That's funny.
Your friends' kids sing. And
Well,
I just
we know what kind of curmudgeon you are.
I really am, dude. I'm such a miserable piece of shit.
But you got the roast beef.
I got the roast beef.
You're
That's
the
all
only guy I
about.
know that uses that word. So you are officially the show curmudgeon.
Yeah, I'm Delaware County's curmudgeon.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, but I just wanted to apologize. I'm sorry I
That's
didn't
all
come
good.
out and watch the kids
It's all
sing.
good.
But I do see them on the internet and stuff. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool.
Yeah,
the
I guess
kids are
that's
involved
a
in so much.
That's a whole separate thing, right? You know?
Yeah, I think one of the teachers there, he was actually my guitar teacher.
Oh, really?
Guy named Dan. Yeah, really good guy. But let's not get off topic.
Yeah.
So what's the topic? What are we?
Well, we're talking about the hockey rink.
How did you get into hockey? Let's dive down that path. Like, was your dad a hockey guy? Or?
No, surprisingly not. Yeah, it was buddies, in Eddystone.
Yeah,
where
good
we were
old
from.
wholesome Eddystone, the
Yeah.
tennis courts.
Yeah, exactly. Tennis courts or just like nets in the street, right?
Yeah.
Game on, game off type of thing,
Sure.
The ball running into the, down the sewer.
Blowing somebody's window out the side of their car.
Possibly.
Probably a drug dealer, but, nobody gives a shit about that guy,
Yeah. I mean, it was a little better then.
Yeah,
Or,
a little better. I think we just didn't know any better,
That's
dude.
possibly it.
I remember back, like, I grew up down in the village down in Eddystone.
Okay, yeah.
Dude, I remember seeing wild shit, and my, like, parents or, like, older people would tell me, like, what's actually happening, and I'm like, oh, yeah. Like, this whole idea that, like, over there across the bridge, that's where the bad things happen in Chester. But over here, we're safe, and then, like, then you start realizing, like, wait, hold on, there was a shooting up the street. The guy at the car dealership got shot because somebody tried to rob him. There's drug dealers at the end of the block here. And then the other block over, too, and they hate each other, and there's fucking bikers everywhere, and, like, this is not a nice fucking neighborhood,
But I guess
man.
if you're a kid, you just don't pay attention to stuff like that.
Dude,
right? Yeah.
so, like, I'm talking shit right now, but on the same token, Eddystone, like, I grew up in a dual household thing. Like, my dad lived in Norwood, and my mom lived in Eddystone. The Norwood kids were all, like, Southwest Philly transplants and thought their shit didn't stink, or they thought they were tough guys. It was guys like John,
Yeah, right.
But no, they were like wannabe gangster kids, and they thought they were like tough guys. But then when I went to Eddystone, there were the hockey kids, and then like skateboarders and rollerbladers, which I hung out with. Yeah. And then like the rollerblader kids, which is what I did a lot of in the 90s, it translated back and forth to hockey. Sure. So like I knew all the guys. My generation was a little like a couple years shorter than yours. Like I'm 42. You said how
I'm
old?
46.
46. Okay, so you had 4 years on me, which in high school years, I mean, that's a
right?
fucking lifetime, Like,
Yeah.
you're a senior, I'm a fucking freshman, I'm a nobody, But, I just remember, like, Eddystone, as rough as it was, is still to this day home for me.
Yeah.
That's where my heart still is, because a lot of guys down there I still talk to. That's... seeing the pictures of the work you guys did, it's fucking amazing, man.
Yeah.
It's good that, like, some people are still trying to fix it a little bit, Like, I grew up down in the village where the basketball courts were, like, the center. Yeah. That was the center of the village, and we all hung out there. I didn't even play basketball, but I would still go over there and hang out with all my buddies. And I do see every now and then that they try to fix the courts, put new nets up, put, rings up, like... They're trying. It's a fucking tough little town.
It depends on who the people are using it, right? Some people love it. Some people are there to destroy stuff. So I guess the way we look at it is like the more you use it, the less likelihood of the bad stuff will happen too. Because you're there like.
I think it's teenagers though, man.
Yeah,
teenagers are jerk offs.
I mean, you ran into a little bit of that too in the beginning, right?
So, absolutely. Yeah, we wound up with some graffiti on some of the stuff that we did.
Really?
Yeah. But it's. Like
it comes with the territory kind of thing,
but knock on wood, like it's like people care more now. It looks like now that there's something truly happening there. I think people look at it as it's not a place to mess with anymore, so to speak.
I mean, just getting the blacktop replaced was like huge.
That was one of the processes of us going into becoming an actual legit business was getting that asphalt taken care of. Right?
Yeah.
Because the trees growing out. It was a disaster. It wasn't even something easy you could play on.
Yeah.
But,
so what do you guys have like more renovations and plans or?
We do, absolutely. And I feel, each season we gain money in an account, right? And the idea is we're kind of earmarking money for this, that, and the other thing.
By August, they might have like club boxes in there. Or something,
Yeah.
That might be a little far. That might be
no?
a couple years away. But
Yeah.
You're gonna.
But no,
All
like
right.
the
It's getting
idea.
there.
The idea is over this. This is probably going to be one of the largest renovations happening over this off season, winter time.
Okay.
That has happened since we've been down there, and that's coming with. It's not just our money. There's actually a grant that we were applied for.
Nice.
And got approved?
And approved.
Wow.
Nice.
So
you don't want to tell what it's going to be, or
you getting a roof?
I can.
You getting a roof and lights?
No. So I can get into the details of it. So the grant was through the Philadelphia Flyers.
Oh wow,
Really?
that's what's up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. So they run a grant process every fall.
Okay.
And it's funny because it doesn't have to be hockey related. It's kind of community based type of thing.
Cool.
So nonprofits, obviously, you need to be a nonprofit, right? Because it is a nonprofit money going to a nonprofit type of thing, right?
Gotcha.
So we applied for the grant, and any grant process is very detailed. They don't want to know who you are, who's involved, what it's for, where it's going to go. So, I guess I had pretty good wording in there, because I caught their interest. And the funny part is, we were down there one day. It was me, just on the rink, and I hear a vehicle coming up the road, and I look up. It's an SUV with Flyers logos all over.
Oh, great.
And I'm like, didn't even put two and two together because it wasn't like immediately. It was.
You just thought it was some goofball with a bunch of Flyers wraps on their truck.
But I was like, I gotta stop. So I stopped, got up. They came over and they explained they had read our grant.
Oh, cool.
And they were like, we just wanted to see what you were doing down here, right? They didn't know I was going to be there.
Yeah.
It just happened to stumble on me. But that immediately got them to ask deeper questions.
Really?
And I was able to give them much more detail than they were seeing from just reading 500 words or less, or 300 words or less. And then they got into they got my details, personal details. They're like, can we just ask you questions later, if we need to?
Yeah.
So they wound up like emailing me and texting me like over the next like month or two. And I'm like, huh. Like, I'm thinking like, is this real? Like, I mean, am I really getting interest here? Like, I was like, is it really going down the path? So I didn't want to get my hopes up, but they kept asking more and more questions. And I was like, this is a good thing, right? So I still wanted to like, keep my, hopes a little low, but
sure.
Because, they also told me the process was still open. So they were still accepting others,
right.
And, so they eventually asked me to speak to the township directly, and I was like, oh boy, that has to mean something, right?
Right.
Like who's the contact at the township, because the land is Ridley Township's land, right? We
right.
don't own it as an organization, so anything that's going to be done there would have to be okayed by the township. But we would be like the person that it goes through, the township or Ridley Hockey League. So they set up a meeting, we discussed it, and they said if we can get in line in all this, what we're going to do, it's yours.
Really?
And Ridley was like, oh, okay, that sounds great. So the idea is they want to do work down there themselves, like not the Philadelphia Flyers, but they hire everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
So the money physically doesn't have to change hands. And the reason for that is there's a lot of red tape.
Yeah, the liability. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said, can we hire this? Can we do that? So as long as we're on the same page about what the project is,
yeah,
and they agree to it and it's within their budget, we sign whatever and they'll actually execute it.
Wow.
Really?
That's fucking extraordinary, man.
Yeah.
So what?
That's great.
Like, you can't go into the details of the project. Like, are they putting in big bleachers or?
I can go into it now. Yeah, I guess. So the idea is our rink is technically smaller than it's supposed to be from a ball hockey standpoint. So ice hockey is a full 200 feet long.
Okay.
Ball hockey isn't normally played on that long. It's normally around 165.
Okay.
They're going to make our rink 165 feet long.
Really?
Taking off the entire ends of it.
Right.
And all that entails. It's a lot, because it's set into this nook.
It's kind of like a complete renovation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
So it's big. It's big money. And they're gonna knock all that out, make it regulation size. They have to do it from both ends because of where things are lined up, doors, lines.
Sure.
You can't just go one end and it'll all be lopsided, right?
So yours is short and they're going to extend it, or
correct?
Yeah.
It's going to extend it, and then what comes into that is it's a lot. Just the land prep underneath is a lot.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to visualize, but like the sides of the rink are a certain height, and then on the ends it goes much higher.
Yeah.
With fencing on top, and that's just keep the ball in.
Yep.
But we asked, could the rink be the same height around the entire
rink,
and then fencing up high on the ends? And the reason for that is so people can stand on the ends and watch too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And they said we don't see a problem with that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a surface down. I don't know, like the way ball hockey is. There's also ball hockey is also on a surface that's plastic.
Really?
Tiles.
Right.
Okay.
So there's asphalt is the underneath it's underneath of it, and then these tiles, they're like 1 by 1 tiles that are they basically click together like
Yeah,
Legos.
right.
Like Pergo flooring.
and you play on that surface.
Nice.
So what happens is that the game is just way better. Like it's proper, right? The passing, the shooting, just the game just moves. So that tile is already there, right? We do have that down, but because the extension has to happen, we need more.
Yeah.
So that comes into play too. More tile. We do have lights down there, so we can have games at night.
Yeah, I saw that in the pictures. They're like spotlights and stuff like that.
We're going to expand that too.
Nice.
We're going to have more poles.
So is there some type of long-term goal with the Flyers getting involved? Do they want to maybe have scouts down there to look at prospects? Is that something you think is happening, or?
So I think more of it is they realize that the sport, hockey in general, like it could be a new fan. Right?
Yeah, there's more community awareness to it. You're more it's more enticing to like become more of like a deeper hockey fan, I guess, or
There's that, plus they do realize that ball hockey players might want to try ice hockey too.
Yeah.
And that equals more hockey players in the organization. So
what about other rinks in the Ridley Township area or even Delaware County? Do you think that they're going to try to branch out and get some more in this area? Or
I think you would think like it's because of the interest in this one.
Yeah.
That really is the selling point, right?
We are kind of in this area, from what I understand, like set down in the middle of like they work with people in New Jersey, and they work with somebody up in Pottstown.
Oh, really?
There's nothing down right here, and they saw our organization as a great path towards expanding in our area.
Very cool.
And it's crazy because like you listen to him talk, he's so soft spoken and humble about it, but it's like you got a lot to be proud of.
Did you just call him fucking soft, dude? He's a
no,
hockey
I'm saying
player,
he's very.
But
I'm saying, but like you're like very like humble about the whole thing. Like it's much like I think you realize it's like much bigger than you.
Yeah.
But like a lot of it is your work, and you're the one that dug your hands in and did it, man. Like do you ever feel like crazy proud of it, or?
I do. Like I like to like on my own smile about it, but like at the same time I do realize I need volunteers, right?
Oh yeah, you can't do it all on your own.
I can't do it on my own.
Right.
So like there's we got to give credit where credit
is
due. But when I do hear it directly to me, and people say, this is because of what you.
I mean, you kind of are the face of it. Yeah, I mean, you're kind of the face of the whole thing.
Yeah, and I like hearing that.
That's pretty cool. I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
honest God. Yeah.
So for your nonprofit, did they have you like titled as the founder? Like you're the guy that
I am the president. Yeah.
You're the president. Yeah. Outstanding.
Yeah.
President.
Well,
Chuck.
Mr. President.
That's funny. Yeah. So we're still. I would say we're still a pretty small nonprofit, but like I think the sky's the limit. We'd love to expand further. I guess we can get into that as well too. We'd love to move all over Delaware County.
Yeah.
It's not just
Yeah.
Ridley Hockey League, right? It's like an overall.
Could be like the
arching
Delco Hockey League or something.
Delco
you know?
Ball Hockey Association is what we.
I mean,
wanna
let's
get
be
into,
realistic. Delaware County has a huge enthusiasm in hockey in general. I mean, dude, when the Flyers are playing, man, it's all over.
I mean, that's kind of like one of the common threads between all of us as friends is like, you know, like we don't all have the same interest. I mean, they were like this little pocket group of friends that were like all into like punk rock and the Misfits, but they all were like huge hockey fans, like super huge hockey fans. Like I've never met more enthusiastic hockey fans in my life.
You know what, dude? Do you want to pivot this episode just a little bit? So, like, you always want to dive into special interests. Like, when me and John were doing this whole show thing, he was like, dude, I want to talk to people with special interest in, like this is your hobby, but it's also, like, a passion for what you do. And now, listen, as an outsider, looking at sports as a whole in this country, hockey is not as mainstream as baseball and football.
Right.
But I think that gives it so much value. When I look at hockey enthusiasts, dude, you guys like being like the underdogs. Like, dude, fuck you, we like hockey. We'll still beat the shit out of you. Like Flyers fans in particular, to me, are like their own type of.
It's a certain.
They're not
community.
necessarily like dude, football fans. You're like, oh, this jerk off. Here's a football fan. You know, if there's a baseball guy, you're like, oh yeah, I can see this guy being a baseball guy. But Flyers fans in particular are their own crowd, you know, and like serious about it. Just as serious as the other sports, but just a different enthusiasm towards it. Like, honestly, listen, don't be too insulted here, gentlemen. You guys might get up and beat the shit out of me. But sometimes almost I would call it slightly nerdy about it.
Yeah,
you know, like
there's a nerdiness.
you know,
to
like
it, yeah,
like dude, honestly, the new mascot I fucking hate. I know a lot of people love the new mascot. Yeah. I thought, like, dude, this
I never
is
thought
the
we
fucking
really
best.
needed a mascot.
This is the best Philly could fucking do. Like, are you fucking for real?
You know what was funny about that is I felt like people didn't like it at first too.
Yeah.
And then I heard like other towns or cities or whatever, oh man, that thing's a disaster. Like, and everybody jumped on it with, oh no, you can't say that about our mascot.
Yeah, right.
All right.
It was
so
like we hated it internally first, but then
this
somebody else
Philly
hated
culture
it.
of like,
yeah,
dude, I'll beat the shit out of you
it's
for
our
talking
mascot.
about it.
Exactly.
We get to call him fucking ugly. You don't get to call him fucking
That's
ugly.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Our mascot.
So now it's like, you know, it's endearing to us because if other people don't like it, it's ours to to defend.
Got them
kind
crazy
of thing.
googly eyes and all that.
Yeah.
I didn't care for it at first. When I was like, we don't need a mascot. Like, what do we need a mascot?
It's like the Fanatic, right? You know, it's
but the Fanatic's awesome.
Well, it's been around.
But it's the thing is like,
yeah, but I think that's what they were going for. Is the Fanatic makes no fucking sense either.
There's probably 4-year-olds that love gritty.
Sure.
You know, like a 40-year-old guy that sees gritty doesn't give a shit because
who's in
never
that costume?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So like a Philly Fanatic, when I seen that when I was like 4 years old, I was like, holy shit, I fucking love this thing.
Yeah, you loved it ever since?
I've loved it ever since. But I love like Jim Henson's like one of my personal heroes.
Okay.
I love that kind of element of creativity, I guess, you know. Yeah. So like Philly Fanatic has a very Muppet feel to him, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
So did you you said that you got into hockey because of your buddies and all that stuff, but did you ever progress into ice hockey and try to pursue that in college or anything?
No, and surprisingly, I mean, just for fun. You know, like the lake would freeze over, or you know, whatever. You know, just never really went down the path of it. You know, and a lot of it was money. Right?
Yeah,
you know,
a lot of
it is expensive.
It is a very expensive sport, and ball hockey is not. So that's the great part about our sport.
And then like hockey parents, that's their whole life.
Yes.
It's
like
traveling,
waking up at 5 in the morning, and taking their kids somewhere, and.
I have a cousin, Ricky Walsh, that grew up in Aston, and he was really, really good. He played at the Aston ice rink, and then at Iceworks, and then eventually went to college up in Boston and like played for. Dude, I'm such a piece of shit. I don't remember what school he went to. He's not a fucking Harvard kid, so don't worry, he's not. But he's a smart kid, and he went to college for it, and I'm pretty sure he got scholarships to go there, and like I think he went there for free, and or you know, portion of it for free. But I think it's so fascinating because it's like, dude, my aunt and uncle devoted everything to that kid playing that sport, and he loved it and he appreciated it. But dude, it's like you put your life on fucking pause if you decide that your kid is like to me, like I have a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old, and if they get into something, I have to start asking that question in my head. Like my daughter dances right now. How much do you love dancing? Let's be realistic.
Me?
No. My daughter, my 4-year-old daughter. Like, how much do you love this? Like, are we going to continue down this path? Because like, if you're going to be a fucking ballerina, then like, all right, I guess I gotta fucking drive your ass around to do all this shit, you know? But, like, dude, I don't watch ballet. I don't fucking know.
Right.
But you gotta think for, like, a parent that's, like, living paycheck to paycheck. They can't really afford to go out and buy all that equipment. They can't really devote the time to do it. So, like, something like this, like, for the single mom or something that lives in Eddystone or some shit, and her kid wants to do something in an organized way, like, this is a perfect outlet for it. And you still learn the sport. You still learn how to play. Yeah. You're still getting active. You're still, you're still doing it. You still have the team mentality. All of that. Like, it creates a goal, but like on a certain scale that's attainable for more people.
There's also like audio clips and video clips of even Wayne Gretzky talking about playing ball hockey in the street and learning skills that way. Yeah. Like, it really does work. It helps build their skills for ice.
I mean, a kid who has a desire to be better at something, no matter what the whatever the canvas is that you can paint that picture on, if they can learn it, they're going to learn it in any way that they can. Yep. So like, this is like, I think this is like extraordinary, man, what you did. I think it's awesome. I don't know who else is involved, but like, kudos to them too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I still believe that, like, anytime you dive into like this is my thought. I got lost in my thoughts here. When you're a single guy and you have no kids, you don't give a shit. You think like, dude, what am I here to do? For me, I constantly kept thinking like, what am I here to do? What the fuck is my point? I used to think, I'm like this highly creative person. I'm an artist. I should be some great thing. Like, you just have no fucking clue. I meet people now that don't have children, and they like are still battling this. Like, what am I here for? And then when you become a parent, mom or dad, whatever, then it clicks. Then you realize that, dude, I'm here to pass along the torch to the next generation. I'm here to take care of these fucking kids, protect them and teach them and like show them the fun shit, man. Because life isn't all about sitting in your fucking house watching TV or playing on a laptop or whatever. It's
there's a good chance your kids probably wouldn't love hockey. If you didn't love hockey.
That's probably true.
Yeah, like, I mean, he's like a true enthusiast. I mean, if you've ever seen this guy's basement, you're just like...
Yeah.
Well, like, I think I was down there one time, I seen like he had a puck collection. It's like, I need a puck collection, So I went out and like...
but you have comic books.
I'm a total nerd, dude. I'm a collector.
Yeah. So for me, like the car stuff that I do, and it all started with dirt bikes. Like, my dad raced dirt bikes. He was the same as you. Nobody got him into it. His buddies rode dirt bikes down in Tinicum when he was a kid, and he just kept going and kept going. And then one day my dad said, fuck this. They have these races up in the mountains. I'm going to go up there and try a race. So then he got me and my brothers into racing dirt bikes. And now, still to this day, my brothers race. I don't race as much. I kind of been thinking about getting back into it. But now I have like these little electric bikes for my kids, and they're fucking flying around.
But, I mean,
on
it's
them.
it's that little thing that like him, he just loved hockey.
Yeah.
He wanted to play street hockey.
Yeah.
And now it's turned into something that, his kids are part of the league, and, he's drawing more people into it and stuff. So, I mean, it's just, I just think it's like...
community, man.
Yeah, it's like so communal.
That's
like,
another thing I want everybody to realize is it's not just the sport aspect of it.
Right.
It is the community side of it, too. Like, giving back is the way I'm looking at it, too,
Sure.
I think that's come through my family growing up is... doing nice things for the community as well, and that it's passed on to me, and now I'm still doing it too.
So the funny thing is when John talked to me about what you do, I know that there's another organization in this area. I think some of the minor sports and hobbies and stuff, like, so skateboarding is now considered a sport, which I grew up doing. I was the same as you. Nobody taught me how to do it. My dad fucking hated skateboarding because I was this little punk kid with baggy pants and fucking looked like an asshole, and I was like destroying my skateboard, but that's what you're supposed to do with it. That's how you do your tricks. But like Eddystone, I used to build all the ramps, like in lower Eddystone, the borough would come along eventually and fucking cut all my shit up and throw it in the back of their trucks. But I was the kid, and now there's a organization called the Delco Skate Coalition or something like that, and they're trying to get more skate parks built in Delaware County because dude, we got to pass this along to our kids, you know, and I feel the same way. That's why I asked about more hockey rinks, like maybe one in Upper Darby, or, you know, like spread it out a little bit so you're covering the map, you know, because these kids, you know, they're not going to be able to jump in a car and come all the way down to Ridley sometimes. Maybe they need something right in their neighborhood. Dude, you know what blows my mind? 2 blocks from here, there's a fucking tennis court that everybody plays hockey in, or they race their little RC cars in there, or I go in there and I skateboard, or I let my kids ride their electric bikes in there. Who the fuck is playing tennis? Can we stop being so ridiculous here? Like, dude, this doesn't need to be here. You can have one of these in Delaware County that still won't get fucking used. There's more assholes playing pickleball, which is something I learned about 6 months ago. Apparently, it's been a sport for like 30 fucking years now, and I've never even heard of it.
People dig it.
You know? Whatever, man. They'll make a pickleball court sooner than they'll make a hockey rink or a fucking skate park. But I think that these sports are growing.
I don't think it's just like you said. It's like the communal aspect of it. Like, you know, you take like something like this Ridley Hockey League. You take like something like even like the School of Rock School for the kids that like you know, music and stuff like that. It's a place where they can go. They can learn something. They can actually perform. Yeah. You know, it's, you know, you just got to get people interested in something and let them expound on it somehow, some way. And I think he's like kind of really set that up in a nice way. Yeah. You know.
Well, I think it's important, you know.
It's super
so like
important.
you accidentally stepped into this leadership position and like, well, I mean, you said you were like, dude, I'm tired of this place looking like shit, and you went down there, and there's just, in my experience, there are so many people that are sitting around waiting for somebody else to fucking take the lead and start moving. And it takes just one guy to be like, dude, this place looks like shit. Let's go fucking clean it up and fix it. John, can I borrow your projector? I want to paint the logos of the Red Wings and the Flyers, and, you know. And then it turned into this thing, and it's going to continue to grow. The fucking Flyers reached out to you, which must be like, as a fan, you must be like,
it must
holy
be huge, right?
fucking shit.
Absolutely. Like, I'm like, and the funny thing is our organization is only 3 years old.
Yeah.
Like, and we're already being connected to Philadelphia Flyers. I was like, wow. You know what I mean? I think we're really doing something, you know?
It is. It's awesome.
Maybe at some point even, I mean, how amazing would it be if you guys like set up a, you know, community day or something down there, and some of the Flyers showed the fuck up. I mean, dude, I'm not even a Flyers fan, and I would show up. I would be there like, holy shit, look at these fucking guys.
I see Brian Propp doing signings for everything.
See, that's the funny thing is I think when this work gets done, there will be some sort of
that'd be
grand
shit.
Grand opening, or
Bernie Perron will be down there.
He goes everywhere.
He's a coos hound.
Super cool, man. Super cool. Yeah. So when you want to build a skate park right next to it, if the Flyers have a little extra on that budget, man, for some dirty ass skater kids, you know.
You know, that's the funny thing.
Some extra concrete, maybe. We'll just make a couple little hips.
I think it does take somebody that wants to like take the lead, because I don't think that there's not money around.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
You know, like there is money. It's just, you know, what interests do they want to put the money towards?
Maybe you could be the skateboard guy.
Yeah, you could be the leader.
Well, so I did reach out to that Delco Skate Coalition, and I know one guy that rollerblades, this guy Jimmy, who used to be like a pro. He's like super fucking talented rollerblader. And I think he's involved because his daughter and son are skating now too. But I would get him involved. I still skateboard. I still have my skateboard upstairs. I snowboard. You know, I'm fucking old and tired, and I'm scared to get hurt. So like, I'm not going crazy, but like, I go to FDR and I carve around. But I would love to be more involved, and I don't know. You know what I need is another hobby.
Yeah.
I need another fucking hobby. That's what it is, John. I need another. Let me see. Podcasting, cars, racing dirt bikes, skateboarding, snowboarding. What else do I do?
Go build a skate rink.
I make bullshit TikToks. I'm a comedian or pretend comedian. I attempt to do comedy. Nobody laughs, you know.
Gotta start somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'm more of like a jack of all trades kind of guy. I'm just going to try them all until eventually one of them works, you know.
It's a good deal.
Yeah.
All right, man. So
what do you think?
Where can we...
so plug your social media.
Plug some social media.
If guys want to get involved and help out the league.
So we are facebook.com/Ridley Hockey League. We also are leaguelineup.com/Ridley Hockey League. We're actually on all the social medias, like Twitter is Woodland Rink.
Okay.
Because that started so long ago, whatever, when it was just the rink.
Nice.
And Instagram is Ridley Hockey League. We have a TikTok.
What's
Ridley
with the
Hockey
jerseys?
League.
I always see you posting things about jerseys. Is that you too?
We
or is that another company that makes the jerseys?
So there's
for
a company attached to us. 2 and 10 Apparel. They are making all of our stuff now. Like I have a sweatshirt on now. A hoodie made by his company. Jason Kelly is his name. He makes all of our kids' jerseys for our league, and I mean at a discount too.
Yeah.
Which is very helpful,
sure.
For our organization, but they're good quality stuff too, and by the way, it's not just hockey, what I mean, like their apparel. I mean, they make it for every sport around too,
Cool.
So you're always trying to get organizations attached to them, right?
Nice.
So if people wanted to reach out and like become part of the league, would they just go through your social media?
Social media. We have an email address to woodlandhockeyrink@gmail.com. That literally comes to me.
Yeah. So what about just coming down to see what's going on? Like, is there specific nights that you guys play, or?
Right now, we're actually in the playoffs and finals in multiple age groups, so we will be done by the end of November. But between now and then, it's even tonight. We have a game down there tonight.
Okay.
Monday night. Then there's
Monday night. What time?
Monday is at 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wednesdays 5:30 to about 7. Thursdays between 6 and 8. Saturdays we're there as early as 9 a.m. till about 1 in the afternoon. Different age groups, right?
Gotcha.
But yeah, you can see there's little kids down there, age 4, playing.
Really?
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah, all the way to.
And this
16.
all started with like Sunday pickup games, man.
Yep.
Just everybody go down there on a Sunday and.
So for anybody that's looking for the rink, I have to explain that you can't see it really from Bullen's Lane. The best way to find it, honestly, is to go to the Woodland Shopping Center and drive all the way around the back there, and you'll see that there's a hidden gem of a park and this amazing rink.
It's right next to the softball field, right?
Widener softball.
Yeah, the
field,
Widener softball field.
Yeah,
Right next
I mean, you
to it.
can get it there from Bullen's Lane.
Yeah.
There's a very steep hill that goes down to the bottom, and you can get to it.
Yeah, make that turn to get in there.
Yeah.
So it's but there's a rink down there. It's beautiful. Chuck went down there and hand painted it himself. And big things are coming, right, guys?
Absolutely.
I would think so.
John, you keep complaining about your weight, but this guy's over here giving you fucking solutions.
I got solutions.
I mean, you look like a goalie to me, man. That's all I'm saying.
I crushed it.
This guy's going to fucking punch me in the face.
Nah, I just need to get back in the gym. That's all. I did
Yeah.
great while I was there.
All right. I'm just saying, Chuck's over here looking at you like, hey, man, we
Get
got
your
hockey
ass
sticks,
down
we
there,
got
boy.
balls,
Nah.
All right.
When he started this, I actually had just come off of not making excuses or whatever, but I had just broken my ankle and I really couldn't. I didn't have any mobility in it just yet.
Oh, okay.
So, but even still, really wasn't something that I saw myself getting out there doing. My kids have gone down there, and my son John loved it. He absolutely loved it, and I think I still have video saved from one of those functions that you had down there.
Yeah, one of those barbecues.
Yeah, I guess it was a barbecue, and we all showed up there, and I remember Johnny played for hours, endlessly played. It was great. I distinctly remember Steve Rogers made these shrimp skewers with hot peppers on them, and that was the highlight of my day.
Shit, yeah, man. Well, listen, if he's gonna make more of them, then I'll be down there too.
Maybe we could have him on again.
Are you guys having any events coming up? I mean, other than the playoffs and championship, but I mean,
so actually, we do have a turkey. It's called the Turkey Cup. Coming up this Friday. That's a tournament, and it's to raise some money for our organization.
The thing
kids.
is that this probably won't air
Yeah.
before then, though.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
all right.
so-
Well, you just missed it.
You just missed it.
Maybe next year they're doing. Would you say a turkey?
Turkey Cups. It's
You
on
know what
Black
we could
Friday.
do? We could announce it on our Instagram or something. We
Yeah.
could plug it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We could do something for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's our it's just a fundraiser, and there's adult league and kids league too, which was cool.
Yeah,
nice.
It was very cool.
Yeah,
awesome shit, man.
All right, Chuck, thanks for coming, brother.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
You guys ready to hear some music?
I guess.
Man, this guy's such a curmudgeon. See you guys.
See you. Thanks for listening to Renaissance Man-Child. Renaissance Man-Child is a Yardbird Tuna production. If you enjoyed the show, please like, follow, and share. Any ideas or suggestions, feel free to reach out to us on Facebook or Instagram.
Oh, shit!
You talk good.